And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. Today I have a returning guest. You know him as Mr. Bikes Will Save the World, but he is the unstoppable, undeniable Daniel Morteh. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me, man. I love that unstoppable line you give me, man. It humbles me. Really.
Man, but that's your slogan. You are unstoppable. You're doing so many things. It's incredible. From the last time you were here till present time, you have accomplished so much and done so much.
Just been keeping busy, man. I mean, one thing about the pandemic, man, either you're stuck at home or you're keeping busy. And I'm too much of an extrovert to be staying at home. So I just try to do as much as I can. You know, I think I'm probably doing too much, actually. So I'm learning I'm not the best. I'm learning new things, and I'm learning new things about myself during this time period, and it's been a really awesome experience to do that. Actually, I feel like after the past few years, with everything that's been going on, I'm growing to be someone that I'm supposed to be finally, or what I wanted to be when I was a kid.
Yes. Boom. I love that. It's been an incredible journey. I've definitely have the honor and pleasure of watching you grow as a person, you know, all the things you're doing. So like, what's new? What are you doing? What's on your agenda besides growing up things? Because you have a lot. You have so much you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, on a personal level, I'm trying to get a bunch of certificates for work. I'm really lucky that my one of my jobs reopened after COVID, so I immediately got rehired back. So it took away a little bit of my riding time, but it's so worth it. I'm just trying to get a few certificates for that, as well as I'm still on the board for Bike JC. We got
dope.
We finally got the approval to do the Jersey City War Tour again. It's going to be on June 5th. It's going to be on a Sunday. It's like the WrestleMania for Jersey City biking. It's
nice.
Hall. We're going to go through all the wards. It's going to be a really great event. I'm doing a lot of great things with Grove Street Bicycles. We're doing a lot of promotions. I've been hosting their rides almost every Sunday. We ride up at least to George Washington Bridge, but we've been getting a lot of roadies on this, so we go even farther. We actually did Bear Mountain a few times on that. That was like 110 miles. Yeah.
Wow.
And and I'm doing another ride to Philadelphia for my birthday, you know. So.
Nice. It's become like an annual thing for you, right?
Yeah. We did it last year. It was the second time we did it, and then we realized this is a tradition now.
Yeah.
You know, when we started the first time, it was like, let's just do it. And then the second time, not only we were there, I have a friend, Renata. She's really awesome. We stayed at her house because she lives a block away from Gino's. So as we made our toast, we were like, "Yo, this is a tradition now. We're gonna do this as many times as we can on June, around the second or third week of June, because my birthday, as well as my best friend Jeff Feinberg, it's his birthday like the day before.
Shout out to
Jeff. It's gonna be great. Yeah, you know, Jeff Feinberg. He's the F, and I'm the M, so that's why it's the MFing ride. Not what you think.
That's dope. Wow, man. How from the last time we spoke, right? And I had you on the podcast, like till now present, right?
Mm-hmm.
What has Bikes Will Save the World done? Like, it's because its presence is immense now. It's undeniable.
Well, I would say that fundraiser we did last year for the MF and Ride, we raised over about $3,000 for a nonprofit called Ride Upgrades, which is an awesome nonprofit that gets kids in inner cities into competitive cycling. So we did that. We have merch out, apparel. I've been doing a lot of personal training workouts and stuff like that. It's been a growing thing, a growing phase. We've been working closely with Bike JC to help out in any way we can to promote cycling safety, as well as we did a ride to Trenton, actually. Like JC hosted this ride to protest the Essex Hudson Greenway so it can be approved And so we can actually have a bike trail from Jersey City all the way to Montclair, which would be a part of the bigger greenway that takes you all the way to Florida. So that's going to be a great cross country trip on one of these days. But we did that ride, and it was an amazing, amazing experience. I tried to ride back, but then I learned you should never make the ride more than what it is. You know, turning 60 miles into 120 that day was not in the cards. But don't worry, I did 100 miles later on that week. Yeah, we're doing a lot, and there's so much potential to do more, and that's what I'm really excited about. It's one of the reasons why I had to take a moment to really put the ducks in a row to see what we can accomplish and how hard we can go at this.
Wow. Isn't it amazing that you went from just a slogan, an idea, a thought, right, to now literally living your dream and still building, because it's every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I am still amazed on what has happened, and most importantly, I feel like I'm just getting started, or I feel like I'm still at the cusp. I've been getting these moments where I'm thinking back on when I was 28, and when I'm going to be 39 in a month.
Wow.
And when I was 28 going on 29, knowing that 30 is right there, I was in such fear, insecurities. I was really worried on not achieving what I thought I should be achieving at 30 years, because having my parents, they at the end of the day, they want what's best for you.
Yes.
But the idea of what they want from me, and I knew I wasn't close to achieving it at that time, had me at certain doubts and certain fears. And now, 10 years later, I am looking forward to being 40. I feel like there's so much more that I can do. I feel like I'm just getting started. It's an amazing, amazing experience.
Wow.
Especially the last few years. Yes.
That's beautiful, because I know when you first started this journey, it started off as you just mental health, helping your mental, and then you started Bikes Will Save the World, and then one person joined you, and then another, and then another. Talk to me about how in your experience, what this that you have created has helped other people.
It got more people into cycling. It got more people into a community of like-minded people to continue to cycle. One of my favorite interactions that ever happened is I made a lot of shirts, apparels, on sale at BIKESWILLSAVETHEWORLD.com. And I was slapping stickers everywhere. And I was riding alongside the Goethals Bridge in Elizabeth, New Jersey. This is awesome route where you can ride from Jersey City all the way to Goethals and back. It's great. And I just slap a sticker there just for the hell of it. And then a couple of days later, someone I've never met, someone I don't know, who got into cycling himself. His name is Steve. He goes by the Biking Fireman, because he's a fireman. He bikes to work all the time. I love the guy. And then he just, took a picture of it, posted it on, and I was just in shock. I was really in shock, because I still was not realizing that this was developing momentum. This was a movement. And when Bike JC did an event called the Ghost Bike Ride, where we actually went to various different parts of the city where we have ghost bikes to honor anybody that was killed riding a bike, in accidents. I met him, and he had on a Bikes Will Save the World hoodie that I have on sale at my website, and we just connected. And a couple of weeks ago, we met up at the same bridge to take a photo of just where this connection started, simply because two guys love to ride bikes. I love the fact that I have really good people in my life right now, simply because I enjoy riding a bike and they do too. So it's great. My best friend's a cyclist. My accountant is a cyclist. My friend who gave me advice on stocks is an accountant. My girlfriend, she she just started riding, but she's always the support vehicle for whenever I do big rides. I'm like, I didn't even
Dope.
ask her to
Yes.
do it. She just like, volunteers, and it's awesome. She's doing it again for the MF and ride in June. So
Nice. Whoa. That's amazing, Daniel. Like, wow. Wow. You did you was it you? I read something about you guys did something with the mayor.
yes, there's always there's one day out of the year, there's this ride to work event where, Steve Phillips at the Heights, because he lives there. We meet up there, we talk about traffic issues and cycling issues. Jersey City is still a growing city. The infrastructure is consistently changing, and a lot of us are advocating for more bike lanes, bike safety regulations, because people can get hit real easily in this town.
Yeah, that's very true.
So we had that session where we were there talking to him about what we think we can do to make Jersey City safer, and as well, while we were riding all the way down to downtown Jersey City to work. It was a great experience. It allowed me to understand that, there are people that listen to what we need and what can make this city a better place. And I think, being able to have alternative transportation such as cycling would be really great.
Nice. Talk to me, like you mentioned you're on the board now. Like for people like me that don't know, right? That or just in general, anyone that's moving to Jersey City, right? In what way does the board help future riders?
Well, future riders, we'll continue to get more bike lanes. We are constantly advocating for more bike safety. We provide resources on learning how to fix your bike, how to ride a bike. I even taught someone how to ride a bike. Another thing that I've been doing this past year, I taught two people how to ride a bike. I wrote an article for VeloNews, and a lot of this is always connected with not only my bike club, but with Bike JC. And it gives an opportunity for people who are coming into this town to understand that there's alternative ways to get around this town. Traffic and cars is still a huge issue. And until that infrastructure is changed, we have a really good, reliable source access of transportation, which is cycling. And I just feel like the city needs to embrace it, and we're getting more people that are embracing it themselves. That's one thing I love about Bikes Will Save the World. People who didn't think about riding at first just got into riding and were like, this is so convenient. They ride to work. And one of my friends, I would say, because of everything I was doing with Bike JC, with Grove Street, with the Major Taylor Cycling Club, in terms of that article, he was like, yo, I want to get a bike to do what you do. And then like a year later, no, not even a year later, maybe like 9 months after that conversation, he's like, yo, I got a new bike. Let's ride. And so we rode together, me and my friends. We put him through a hurt locker, I would say. He wasn't expecting he wasn't expecting 75 miles that day. So that's another thing: camaraderie, friendship, a community of people that are like-minded, who are about positive energy and about just being able to have an accessible resource such as cycling in their hands.
Nice. But like, you're considered to be like an experienced rider, right? This far, right?
Yeah.
Right. For somebody that would like to start riding, right, that sees this video or come across you in social media or meet somebody that knows you, like, what advice would you give them to start riding?
First of all, buy a helmet. Always.
Boom. Safety first.
Safety first. Yes. There's been a few times. I'm not even gonna lie. There's probably 4 times this year I did not ride. I rode without a helmet, and I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified every single time. I don't know whether it's because I'm just getting older, but I really just don't want to be reckless like that. So always buy a helmet. And also, this was when I was teaching someone how to ride a bike. Someone who's much older than me, who's been a rider all of his life, just said they have to learn how to fall first, and that makes such perfect sense. Because so many people fear falling that when they do fall, they fall horribly. And the next thing you know, that's when they start breaking things. So learning how to roll over onto your shoulder once you fall is probably an essential thing. So find a grassy area with your bike and just, practice how to roll off the bike if you happen to fall or if you lose control. That is probably more important than anything else, because like if you're in a situation where you might fall and you just don't know what to do,
Yeah.
then you might put your hands out in front, and then by doing that, you're putting so much force on your wrist to where you might hurt, injure, sprain, or even break your wrist. Stuff like that. And yeah, I would say that. And also learn how to fall, wear a helmet, and don't wear headphones.
Boom. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do that for some reason. I mean,
yeah.
They're in the zone, right? I get it. But I see when I'm riding to Jersey City, especially downtown, like I see them, right? And it just like, I don't know, I don't know what you call it, but like it gives me fear, and I'm not them.
Yes. I'm not a big fan of that as well. I see people riding with one earphone on. That makes perfect sense. And there's always the ear that's available. That's when traffic is at. So it's always on their right. But I've seen, actually what gets on my nerves actually is runners who run on the bike lane.
Yeah.
That's actually really dangerous, because like you don't know where these bikes are coming from, and then their reaction once they feel you ride past could be very dangerous. So I would say really, really make sure that your sense of awareness is alert at all times when you're riding a bike. So don't wear headphones.
Yeah, I feel that 100%. I want to talk a little bit about what are like you're an active advocate in Jersey City, right? You're not just somebody doing stuff. You're active in the community, from supporting small businesses, just helping people in general progress, right? When it comes to the issues and writing, what are the main issues going on in Jersey City right now that people need to be aware of and try to put their parts and better it?
I would say some of the issues we'll have to deal with is definitely bike safety, bike lanes, being aware of riders on the road. A lot of people are driving recklessly too fast for no reason. Like you're not going anywhere. You're riding to a red light. You have to understand that when you're in a car, especially if you're dealing with rush hour traffic, you're riding to a red light. So when that rider is on the side of you, give them a little space. And if you can't go around them, you can wait until there's enough space. You can. But a lot of people don't really do that. It grinds my gears, and it puts everybody in jeopardy. There's a lot of rules and regulations that are trying to be organized so that we won't have these fears. That's why there's a lot of protected bike lanes now. A lot of people complain that it's taking a lot of parking or taking less. It's changing the infrastructure to make traffic even worse. But I'm like, traffic is always going to be worse. Traffic is always going to be bad. We invest billions of dollars on these roads to so that there can be more cars. Not that there can be easier traffic, because if there's easier traffic, that means it's going to be more cars, because people are like, oh, this is easy, so I'm going to go here. And then it was fun while it lasted, when it was like a really straight shot to get to where you need to go. Now there's a lot more traffic because there's a lot more cars. So having an alternative source of transportation that is safe for everyone is important, from the little kid that wants to ride to school to the grandmother that wants to ride to her grandkids. Like it's very essential that these resources need to be influenced as well as passed, so that there can be that outlet, so there can be less cars, so that people can drive a lot easier. I mean, having more bikes means there's less cars on the road, so you won't complain about traffic, parking, and the crappy just the infrastructure of the city. I think that's essential. Just letting them be safe. I think there's a lot of stuff. I can go on and on and on. Yeah,
I get it. It's there's a lot of as I've driven around, I've seen a lot of like white bikes. Like too much of that's going on. It's very sad, and it's most of the ones I've seen are just kids.
Yeah.
It makes it even sadder.
Yeah, there was a ghost bike. We did this event where we rode around to freshen up all the ghost bikes. We did it in Newark. We did it in Jersey City too. Shout out to Patrick Conlon, the former president of Bike JC, who put that together. Like, that man is amazing, and that was a very emotional time because every single bike had a story. And there was this one on Tonley Avenue that was really, really, really sad. Two kids on a track bike. They went down a hill into the middle of traffic in Tonley Avenue, killed instantly. Like, just that bike, because they were kids, that bike was really tough to be around. And you know, it's something that I think about quite often when I'm on the road. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm at a point now where I feel more safer on a bike than I do in a car, because I see like almost a near accident with a car every time I ride, every day, a near accident. And I see one accident at least once a week, you know. But, you know, I just feel like with everything that's going on with the city and how it's changing in infrastructure, like, you know, bike safety needs to be at one of the main priorities of the city, so that, you know, transportation can be easier, so people can go to work in a different fashion, healthier fashion, and not fear for their lives. Because, like, you know, if they're riding,
that's a lot of reckless drivers out there. Like, it's fearful.
Yeah,
like
and
a lot.
And I'm not bashing drivers. I totally understand cars. There's a purpose for cars. Like, seriously, I shop at BJ's. I know I need a car every now and then, you know, like, but it's just, there needs to be a better communication between cycling commuters, walkers as well, and drivers, you know, so that we could all like just fluidly just go where we need to go.
Yeah, I was the other day, I was walking. I think I got off on Richard Street, right? And right next to the Richard Street is a park. And there was this young kid driving in a black Cadillac, right? Brand new. And and it's like a swirl in the park. Yeah. And he would get out and just like gas all the way to the bottom, go up, and then all down, like, and there's people coming out the light rail. And that's scary, right? The sense of responsibility that, oh man, it's you know, being a dad, right, puts things, you know, put things in perspective for you, because you want to live, first of all, you want to do what makes you happy, right? Like yourself, riding bikes, right? You want to be able to enjoy these things, but yet you can control yourself. You can control your outcome, but you can't control the outcomes of others.
Yes.
And that's what makes it scary.
Yeah. Knock on wood, I had two bad accidents in it's been a long time. In probably 12 years I've been cycling as a commuter and cycling, you know, on a regular basis. I've only had two bad accidents, and one was a hit and run. Like I was done with a 100-mile bike ride, actually, and I was literally a block away from home, and then a car just took an illegal right, and just
all the time, you know, the time. I still live in the hood, and they do that shit like every other day. Like, it's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary. When you walk me through when you do these long rides, right? For those who are interested in joining you or thinking about doing it in the future, like, walk me, how is that process of riding? Like, from the, where do you meet to, like, you know, do you take breaks and then you continue, or is it a straight ride?
Well, if you really want to find out, almost every Sunday, not this Sunday too, because it's going to be Mother's Day, but almost every Sunday we meet up at front of Grocery Bicycles, and we do a ride, normally to the George Washington Bridge at least. And depending on who's riding with us, a lot of times it's mostly roadies, road cyclists. These are people that can do 20, 30 miles on a bike. They can be at a pace of like maybe 9 to 10 miles an hour. So lately it has been them, which has been great, which makes me as well as the staff at Grove Street Bicycles wants to put together a more of a casual ride on the weekdays. So it could be like the nonchalant hybrid riders, you know, to get coffee or whatnot, 5-7 miles tops. But with this ride, 8 a.m. we meet up at Grove Street. We take a picture because you got to put it on the gram. And then we start off. Yeah, we start off with Washington Street, go into Hoboken, and then once we go into Hoboken, we go on the waterway up until we get to River Road. And then once we get to River Road, it's more of a straight shot, and that's when the pace starts getting picked up. It's a casual ride up until then because, like, you know, you're handling traffic properly. You're just checking on who can ride, who's, you know, who has a certain amount of speed, who doesn't look like they're about to die just yet. And then once River Road hits, the pace gets picked up from like maybe 6 miles an hour. I try to keep the ride around no more than 12 when we're on that part, because once you get to Fort Lee, there is a hill.
Yes.
The bridge. That hill is what tests you. That hill allows you to know where you're at. And there is no shame in walking that hill up. It's, you know, it happens. It took me a very long time to get up that hill. It took me even longer to get up that hill on a one-gear bike. But, you know, after you do that hill, after we get up there, we either go through Palisade Park, which is an amazing, amazing route to ride. There's a lot of rolling hills, which is great. It really tests you who you are. And it gets you all the way to the border of Rockland County, which is like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful town. And either that or you go on 9W, which is like once you pass the bridge, you go past another bike shop called Strictly's, and then it's a straight shot on 9W. That route can take you. I have a goal one of these years to ride that route all the way up to Albany, New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
a trip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be an adventure. And that's where you get to learn a lot about pace lining. You see a lot of cyclists on that road. You see a lot of groups of cyclists like literally lined up, and that's what a pace line is. It's like the person in front is maxing out in all power, and while the person in the back is just coasting because the wind resistance is different from him. He's not dealing with so much wind, so he could rest. But once you slowly change riders, and then the person in the back is the person in the front, that's when he's, you know, hauling his tail and is going as fast as he can, keeping a certain miles per hour at full force. So I try to do that a lot in some of my rides, but then there are some rides where it's just a casual ride. We're just doing no more than 10 miles an hour. And we, I would say like every 20 miles, I try to take a stop. We normally go to this coffee shop that's really awesome. That's on Route 9W called 9W Market. Absolutely amazing food. And we either ride back or we keep going. Sometimes we go to Nyack. Sometimes we go to Haverstraw. I've done Bear Mountain on this ride. I would love to do, what's the name of that town? Newburgh, actually, because there's a brewery there that I've always wanted to check out.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's other rides that I do as well. The MF ride. Every 20 miles, we take a break. We fuel up on water. We just check to see. We stretch first. That's another thing. Always stretch before we do anything. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting old, but trust me, first thing you do when you get out of bed, okay, is stretch. Seriously, stretch and then coffee.
In that order.
In that order. In fact, I need to get my coffee maker set up to my Google Home so I could be like, hey, Google, make coffee. And then boom, you know, and then while coffee is being brewed.
When you go on these long rides, so like you guys have a finish point, and then from there you like I imagine you take public transportation or whoever got the car and bounce back home.
Well, yeah, it depends on the route. Sometimes I like to make my routes round trip. I'm a fan of riding to the ride, then doing the ride and riding back. So a lot of my rides are round trip. But with stuff like, I did one ride where we rode from Jersey City all the way to, what's the name of that town? Poughkeepsie. Yeah. And we definitely took the train, you know. We so, you know, and then by then, most of the time it's always public transportation. But I do this ride every year. This ride particularly is called my WrestleMania. It's all the way starting from Brooklyn, New York, and we go all the way to the end of Montauk. which is in Long Island. So it's 125 miles. The Major Taylor Cycling Club does this ride every year, and that's my WrestleMania. Shout out to Derricka Hedden, who's the president of Major Taylor, and she's doing a phenomenal job because bikes will save the world, and she's one of the soldiers that are helping that crusade. And there's normally this big bus that ships us back to Brooklyn once it's all over. So it's not like we're stranded in Montauk.
Dude, I still don't understand. Like, you do so much, and then you go on these long rides, right? Like, how's your recovering process? Like,
ooh, I'm not gonna lie. If the ride's on a Sunday, it's tough because I still got work Monday morning.
Yeah.
But the recovery is first of all stretching. I have foam rollers. You gotta really take care of your body. Flexibility is key. I work out now more than ever. Luckily, my occupation is in that field, so that's really good. So I do a lot of leg workouts, do a lot of stretching, a lot of cardio, as you can tell, and just making sure my body's okay for riding, and also being cautious of what I eat. That has been a huge factor.
So no more bacon, no more burgers.
You can still have that just when it's important.
Yeah.
You know, don't have that the night before. I learned that the hard way.
Yes.
Seriously. I normally fuel up with pasta before a really big ride. Yeah. Fuel up on pasta, carbs. Because you're gonna need them when you're on the road. Burn a lot of that off. I have a lot of like small snacks that are in my bag while I'm riding. When I did the Montauk ride, the only thing I did at rest stops was fuel up, was pack my water bottles with more water, fuel up with as many Cliff Bars as possible, and I jumped back on the road. Like I didn't even wait for anybody. I wasn't chilling or anything like that. I wanted to make sure I did this ride as quickly as possible, and that's. That mindset of like trying to get it done is a big factor. You should not ever think about how many miles you did. You just got to think of just finishing that 1 mile, and then there's another mile ahead of you. Never think about when is this over. Think about just finishing that last mile, and 125 miles later, you'll be there.
Wow. We need to make a documentary on this and sell it to Netflix. We need to do something. I find it remarkable, right? Because at one point, it was just you riding. It was just you solo, working at these shithole towers. No gear. You had nicknames.
Bring it back memories. Yes.
Yeah. And it was just you, all day you. And yet, fast forward to present. It's not you no more. You're not alone no more. You've inspired so much people. You've created so much unity, right? Like, it's beautiful. That right there needs to be documented.
I really appreciate that. I really do. Like, it really means a lot, especially coming from you. We've been through some craziness in that one job we had to experience. And look at us full circle. You're doing some big things too, man. Soon to get your black belt. And
it's a long time for that.
But you get there, man.
One day.
Hey, but I just really appreciate the fact that I discovered this at this point in my life. Discovered cycling, and if I can introduce it to other people. I remember I had an experience. I'm such a fan of cycling that I forget that some of my friends enjoy driving. So there's times where some of my friends are like, "Yo, shut up, you're being a joy snatcher." Every time I show pictures of them in a car, I'm just like, my anxiety is like, "Why are you there? Get on a bike." I really enjoy cycling a lot, and the best part about it is finding out how cycling has been growing with people of color, which has been a great experience to see. When I became a member of the Major Taylor Cycling Club, my first ride with them, I think I probably said in the last podcast, I saw like 80 black superheroes together.
Yes.
Taking the lane people cheering us on. It was just an amazing feeling to see. And then it just grew and grew and manifested into so much more. And when I did the MF ride and seeing so many different people with backgrounds and religions and beliefs and genders together to ride to Philadelphia, I didn't know 3 of the people that was on that bike ride with me. 4 of them never done 100 miles. I think 6 of them was like, oh, I'm just going to go to Princeton. And then that's it. And they were like, no, we can still keep going. To see that, and there's no the drama of the world is not in your brain at all when you're riding, and sometimes you need that peace. Sometimes you need to get off your phone, to get off Facebook, to get off Instagram, to get off the news, whatever like conspiracy theory podcast you might be a fan of. It's having that moment is essential, and to see that with so many people of color and so many different races and genders, like it's such a beautiful thing. Like I'm a member of the Major Taylor Cycling Club. Major Taylor, at the end of the day, was a guy in Indiana, grew up very poor, and then he became the second Black world champion, and he did it in cycling, and the first one to do it in cycling. And what he did was so remarkable. A bunch of Black riders were like, we're going to name our club after him, and then it actually turned into a big international club now. There are charters of Major Taylor all over the country. And what's amazing was 2 months ago, this woman that I rode with, she is from Taiwan, and she was a member of Major Taylor. She went back to Taiwan, and 2 months ago, she founded the Major Taylor Cycling Club of Taiwan.
Wow.
That just blew my mind. I text her, I am going to do your inaugural ride. I will find a way to get there. That's amazing to me. I would love to have a legacy like that, where like a country I've never been to is repping my name. Like that's an amazing feat to have. Like all from just riding a bike. It reminds you of how simple the world can be.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Damn, yeah, man. One last question before we go. Are you doing tournaments, tours? Are you doing some of these activities?
I don't do enough, I would say that. I would love to do professional cycling, but also at the same time, the amount of discipline and that requires from it, I definitely have to get into that mindset. I have multiple jobs, so it's like you say you're just like you said, I'm doing too much.
Yeah,
I would definitely have to either be to definitely sacrifice a lot to get into a tournament, to get my mind ready, to get my body ready to do something really.
Well, let's get you some sponsors. We got to get you some sponsors, so you can leave the 9 to 5. You can leave the 9 to 5. That's what you need, so your mind can be focused on training, eating, sleeping, repeat, bicycles.
Yeah, I mean hopefully that'll be the goal soon. Definitely, that would be the goal. One thing, another great thing about this sport is that like I said, I'm 40 years old. I'm almost 40 years old. Most cyclists get better when they hit 40. Like, mind you, like football players, like they got to think about retirement once they hit 30. Meanwhile, cyclists just get started with 40. So like my cycling Yoda, I like to call him, the guy who got me into cycling, Sabash, he's like almost 60. I think he's gonna be 65 soon, and he's still the fastest man in his age range in the country. One time we did a ride together, and unfortunately, I was like, yeah, I'll see you there, because he just jetted. And literally, I had to text him when I was when I got to the finish line, because he was already home.
Yeah, ready for bed, relaxing.
Yeah, but that's the goal, actually, is just to be able to keep up with people like him. And like I do want to excel. There's a lot of stuff that I'm planning on doing, actually. I'm going to do La Vuelta in Puerto Rico in February, actually.
Nice. Dope.
Yeah, La Vuelta is a really awesome ride. It takes 3 days and you circle the island.
Wow.
It's gonna be an intense ride. I'm excited for Major Taylor's year of cycling. I'm trying to organize my own rides as well. Grove Street every Sunday. We're going to do Bear Mountain really soon. I love doing Bear Mountain because that's one of the closest bike routes that can actually test your abilities as a biker. and it's doing that once a year. It's a good understanding of where you're at. Even if you make the attempt, you don't make it, it happens. Like you just make it to NIAC, it's all good. But by the end of the year, you can say you at least did it once. I mean, a lot of my friends do it, so it's something that I'm really planning on doing. Just a variety of things. I definitely want to get more sponsorships. Definitely want to leave the 9 to 5, or at least make it a 5 to 9, 3 days a week, maybe.
Yeah.
Just enough to keep dental. But move forward. Yeah. Oh, that's important, man.
Yeah.
Just a variety of routes. I want to continue doing. I want to continue writing about my cycling journey. I did this article for VeloNews.
Yes.
How bikes, to basically just saved my life during during a time where I just was dealing with like a lot of issues mentally. And it just gave me that focus and drive, and being able to write that article, and so many people shared it, and they.
In which go check it out, because he's an incredible writer. I was astonished. That's why I remember texting. Did you write this? Because it was well done. Yeah. Like you. I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the editor too. I forgot his name, but he's so dope. He doesn't work for VeloNews anymore, but he was a really good editor that really helped guide me into the direction of how to. I had the words. I literally just wrote it out and just blurted out, and then he was like, "Okay,
organized it, structurized it." Yeah.
Yeah. So he was really awesome at that, and it really helped me my skills as a writer, and I want to continue doing that more. So I like video blogging about my experience. I'm going to try to put together. I have a lot of material that I want to put together. Just a short snippet of just everything that's been going on for Bikes to Save the World.
I need a documentary, because I need the people to see it. It's beautiful. Like, I mean it when in the sense like you were just this kid who eat bacon and drink beer, right? And smoke cigars, right? And you will ride your damn bike from that shitty job all the way to like I don't know if you live there now, but you in front of Christ Hospital around there.
Yeah,
every day is like, hey, I can't make it Friday. I got an art gallery to go to, and you ride your bike there.
Yeah,
and then you would come. It'll be fucking raining, and it doesn't matter if it's raining, soaking wet. You got to change the clothes in your locker room, do it all over again.
And now I'm working at gyms, and I still do the same thing. Like I'm really grateful. My jobs now have showers.
Yeah,
I have a shower, a locker. My dry cleaners is across the street from my job. You know what I'm saying? All the shirt and ties are ready. So it's just great. It's just I'm really happy at this point in my life. Like it's and it was definitely a journey to get there. And the best part about it is that I have good people in my life, and the people that have been with me for like 10 years, like you know what I'm saying, you've evolved with me, which is great. I am grateful for the people that are in my life. I'm grateful for the people that are still in my life. And most importantly, I'm grateful for the people that left my life.
Yes.
Because we couldn't grow together. We couldn't connect together. It allowed space for my growth, for my involvement. And the best part about it, a lot of the people that are in my network now, it's all because of just having a common interest in cycling.
Yeah.
They appreciate my love of cycling. So it's just it's awesome. It's a really amazing thing.
Is it incredible? It all it took was one pedal away.
Yeah.
To find this.
Mm-hmm.
One pedal away.
And that represents everything in life. It's one pedal away. Whatever you want to achieve is one pedal away. You want to get to Albany, New York, it's one pedal away. You want to achieve, you want to get that test. You want to pass that test. You want to pass that degree. You want to get that certificate. It's just one pedal, one step away. And I'm really, 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 and really grateful that I'm at that point to see it like that now, because like so many things were impossible to me, and now they don't seem as bad. Tough, difficult, stressful, but not impossible.
Yeah, I mean, anything that's worth it is tough, right? You got to go through that momentum. You got to go through that to accept what you have. Before we go, tell the people where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, you can find me on my Instagram is Kodak Jones. I'm not going to change that. That was my college Instagram name because I was a photographer. Still am a photographer. Got to dust off the camera. It's hard to shoot and ride a bike at the same time. So Kodak with a Q. I'll send you all the information, but KODAQ JONEZ. And my Instagram also is Bikes Will Save the World. You can follow me there, and I always updated on things that I'm doing. Once again, we're doing the Jersey City War Tour that's coming up. New apparel, new merch coming out. I host rides with Grove Street every Sunday. We're doing a lot of things. I'm doing the MF and Ride again. Next year, when I do the MF and Ride for my 40th, it's going to be a big deal. We are going to, trust me, that's something that I'm going to probably take a sabbatical off work to work on, because I want that to be a glorious thing. And also my websites, bikeswillsavetheworld.com, danielmorteh.com. I'm teaching fitness classes downtown. I'm working at Grove Street as well. Come check out Bikes. We finally got a really good inventory. During COVID, there was nothing. Every bike shop was empty. Now we have a lot of stuff to sell. Just keep in touch with me, please. If you're interested in bikes, let me know. Just reach out.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go, guys. Dan, it's been an honor. Thank you for joining me, man.
It's an honor. I owe you a drink, man. We got to hang out, man.
Yes. One pedal away. Have a good night, guys. I'm out. Boom.